My name's Gabriel Axtell.
I'm Mariah Axtell.
We're both Springfield residents. I attended Ozark High School.
And I went to Parkview High School.
I played soccer all 4 years. And my favorite thing to do was fishing, and I really enjoyed the outdoors. And we met back in 2007. We dated for the next year. We met on social media. We met on MySpace. She slid into my DMs, and I was pretty much smitten right off the bat. And the next day, we went on our first date. I told her that wasabi was Japanese guacamole, and she took the largest bite of her life. I instantly regretted it, and I didn't think the date was going to go much further after that. I went into the Marine Corps, and then 2 weeks after you graduated high school, we were married, and we started a life together.
Got married, said goodbye to my parents, and we hit the road to California, and then within 6 months, he deployed. So we have 3 kids. They're my everything, and I know they're his everything too.
Always had a sense of serving others. I'd like to say that's what I tried to emulate all the time. I decided to join the military September 11th of 2001. I remember watching the news and seeing the impact that it had on the community. So I decided to join the Marine Corps as a machine gunner. My military career, which spanned 12 years, kind of consisted of boot camp in 2008. I walked into the Marine Special Operations Recruiting Office, did all my paperwork, and I was gone about 2 months later, where I started assessment selection for MARSOC. And yeah, I did get selected. MARSOC stands for Marine Forces Special Operations Command. It is a unit within the Marine Corps that falls under SOCOM. Other units that fall under SOCOM are Navy SEALs, Green Berets, Army Rangers, and the Air Force PJs. I finished my career as Recruiter of the Year for MARSOC. It was always mission first, family second.
Yeah.
Always. When you open up the back end of a C-130 at 21,000 feet and you're looking out into pitch darkness and you're about to jump, there's no time to think about what's going on at home. Leave it there. It's amazing what happens whenever you go, okay, there's something bigger than me. There's a purpose.
It was a very lonely 12 years. Then he went MARSOC, and he was obviously so excited, and I was excited for him because I knew that's what he wanted in life. And I just had our daughter. I kind of had like my little buddy with me. But it was very lonely when he went MARSOC. We had some hard moments. We actually almost divorced in 2017. I told God, I said I'd give him a year, and I would do all that I could, and I would be the light, and I would be loving and respectful and show him honor and grace where it wasn't deserved, but I knew God was calling me to do that. So January 1st came of 2018, and I just kind of woke him up. It happened to be a Sunday, and I said, I need you to get up, and I need you to go to church to show our daughter what a man is.
That's what she asked, and I said no. And then she said, if you don't go,
I'm packing my bags.
I'm packing my bags and I'm driving home after church today.
Yeah.
Back to Missouri. I would like to say that, that really woke me up, but we had just gotten back from deployment and there was quite a bit of money in our bank account. The last time I checked, divorces aren't cheap. As much as I would love to say it was for my family, it was more selfish at that point in time. But I just remember stepping in the doors of that church, and I just remember God starting to work on me.
Yeah.
From that moment forward. That came in 2018 and started making some major adjustments in my career and our path, I think, as a couple. In 1 second, things changed the whole trajectory of our lives. And I got saved, and the very next weekend, I shattered my leg in 4 places and tore 6 tendons and ligaments. I knew that something in my life was about to change. Little did I know that would be the start of ultimately lead into my retirement from the Marine Corps. I didn't know what my new purpose would be. I wish things got easier. I wish everything was a clear path going forward. Fortunately, it wasn't, but it was the start of building resiliency. We moved back here June 5th of 2020, and we moved in with my wife's parents, my in-laws. It was us, our 2 kids.
Pregnant?
She was also pregnant, and I started a career as a loan officer. And that was the most difficult thing I think I've ever done. When you go through an experience in the military that's very difficult and challenging, you do it because you love it and you're passionate about it. And so it doesn't resonate the same way. But whenever you go from that to now I'm entering into this entry-level career and something that I have no desire to do, I just have to make money, I have to put my family somewhere. How did life go wrong? Like, how did I end up here? Is this what my life's gonna be like? I walk by the portraits on the wall in my house, the team photo of the mission that we were going out on, or the free fall jump, the plaques and the awards and the special ceremonies that took place, and then to hop in a car and drive to a cubicle and cold call people all day and have people literally hate you over the phone. I can't think of without losing somebody that you love, I can't think of another feeling that would easily describe being taken away from what you enjoyed doing the most and being placed somewhere else that you have no desire to be in.
The hardest part, I think, was just watching him decline. His manhood, spiritually, he was declining. He just felt like he had failed, and it was taken from him. It was straight up ripped out of his hand. Watching him just go from being like Marsaw, manly man, to depressed and anxious and things that he never was. It was new for me to see him like that.
I developed an alcohol problem. I started drinking very heavily. It was something I was definitely using to drown out, I think, the pain that I was feeling. While I was driving to work, I would look out into the forest. And I remember just telling myself, man, it's so peaceful out there. Like, I'd love to just walk out there and never come back. That lie saying that you're not worth anything anymore. Your best days are behind you. You have no purpose. You have no calling. That's what it was. It was a complete lie. I started really believing my wife and my kids and my family and the people all around me would be better off if I wasn't a part of their life anymore. And so I decided that night that I was going to go back home and I was going to take my life.
His friend had called me, said, hey, there's something wrong, there's something off. Get your kids, put them downstairs or somewhere with a movie. That way they don't see their dad the way he was. And he said to go in your room, hide every gun that you could find. So I put the kids to bed and I went into our room before he got home because it was about like a 25-minute drive. So I got all the guns, took him downstairs, and I heard him come home. And my middle one, London, is a daddy's girl. And she's like, Daddy's home. And I'm like, oh, we'll see Daddy in the morning. He's had a long day. And then he locked himself in our room.
I shut the door and I went over to my gun safe and I typed in the code. My firearm's gone. And God gave me a vision. And in that vision, it was my family about 6 years down the road. And it was a vision of the pain and suffering they were going through because their father wasn't there. And I got to see, despite my suffering, the suffering that it would have caused on my family. And it was the most real experience that I've ever had. That's when I heard London. I heard London say, Daddy's home, with such joy and excitement. And I realized that I almost changed the trajectory of my whole family's life based on one decision, because I was too scared to talk to anybody, tell anybody how I felt. I was just like, I need help.
Well, and his buddy had texted me. He said, when Gabe wakes up, he needs to contact the Warriors Journey. And I'm like, yep, on it.
And so I made that phone call. And it was the Warriors Journey. On a Saturday morning, he picks up. I was able to talk about my experience in the military and talk about my experience now transitioning out of the military. That's what started this year-long process with the Warriors Journey, where it was healing and rediscovering my identity, rediscovering my purpose. And I realized very quickly that I was not alone. I was not ashamed of who I was anymore or who I wasn't anymore, but I didn't have to walk it alone. And it was okay to talk about it.
You could see a spark of light like back in him, that he realized I do have a reason to be on this earth. I do have a passion.
My routine to work changed drastically after I came to the Warrior's Journey. Instead of driving to work, looking out the world around me, hoping I could disappear, it turned into me driving around, looking at the world outside of me, wondering how I could have an impact that day. And I just remember praying to God that specific morning. I said, God, you gave me a second chance here on this earth, and you gave me this amazing testimony. I can only imagine that I should be using this for good. Even if it's to change one veteran's life, wherever that takes me, I'll go. And that opportunity came up. It involved us moving to Florida. So we listed our house. There was never a doubt that this is the direction that we were supposed to go. And so that's what we do now. Now I get to go and I get to talk about how the Warrior's Journey impacted my life, has changed me completely from the inside out, and just the power of being willing to be vulnerable. I get to see the people's faces and the other veterans and the active duty service members that are out in the crowd. And then they get to come up, and they always come up and they talk about like, oh my gosh, I'm going through something like this. You know, the Warrior's Journey is such an incredible organization. There's hundreds of volunteers that at a moment's notice will pick up the phone, that are being empowered through a lot of individuals here in Springfield to have an impact in the world, from resiliency centers in Japan, Germany, to all the ones that are standing up here in the United States now.
It's amazing what they're doing. It's for the whole family. And that was huge for me. So the Warrior's Journey has a huge place in my heart and will always have a huge place in my heart.
So from the Axtell family, myself, Mariah, and our 3 kids, we just want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone who has supported, who continues to support, and those of you that are thinking about supporting. We want to say thank you. You've had a huge role in our lives. The drop in the pond and the ripples that you've made, you don't know how they're shaping the community. I can tell you that your funds are going to save a life. It usually takes about $2,500 to go through the program to get the help that they need. It's all free to the veteran. Somebody out there paid for me. I don't know who that is, but I'm extremely grateful that they did. This is a great place to plant the seed and to watch the amazing harvest that is taking place year after year here within the Warrior's Journey.